Well, Brian, this is the long-awaited debut, as we indicated, and finally we get a look at this guy. As you said at the Open, this is a huge man, and in a way you feel like this may be the biggest challenge of Andy Dalton's career, the second-generation wrestler.
Andy Dalton, well touted, I would say that much for him. Great young athlete. His dad was Frank Dalton, the original Friday from Mid-South Wrestling, but I guarantee you back in those days, Friday never saw a man 6'4", 265 pounds like Killer Nikels, and Andy just made a mistake there, I think.
This Dalton, he's a scrappy kid all the way from Dallas, Texas, got a lot of heart, and he's going to need every bit of that heart and every bit of that soul to deal with this huge man, Killer Nikels. Bradford has been building this up, for weeks. I think you've got an inside line with a guy, and look at Nikels. He is just playing with this kid, Andy Dalton.
Look at the solid muscle, the solid frame on Kid Nikels. As mentioned, 265 plus pounds. And Andy Dalton is going to have to use every trick in his book if he's going to outlast Killer Nikels.
Killer Nikels is the first official member of the Bradford Exchange. Some reverse knife edge chops there, and they do nothing at all. Andy Dalton is almost being played with. He ducks under. He tries again. A second reverse edge. Oh, man, a forearm shiver, and he is bringing it to Killer Nikels, but Nikels says, no, I ain't going anywhere. Oh, and then Shakiri.
Well, that shook Killer Nikels up a little bit, but Andy Dalton is going to have to stay on the offense if he's going to have any chance here against this big man from the Windy City.
I heard he was from the place down below that we don't talk about.
Yeah. He likes to take vacations there.
Ooh! Chest levels Andy Dalton. I thought I'd see Dalton's head go rolling. Here comes the cover. This should do it. 1, 2, and and Dalton, I'm not sure if he even knew. Maybe that was just a response. 1, 2, and again. A kick out there by the second generation Andy Dalton. And Killer Nikels is just putting the boots to this young kid. You almost feel sorry for him, Brian.
Well, Chris Cruz, you mentioned that Andy Dalton is scrappy. He wouldn't give up, and so far he's not. But I think right now Killer Nikels is about to take control and show you why he is the head man in the Bradford Exchange.
Speaking of the Bradford Exchange, there he is, the head of the Exchange. Boyd Bradford, he knows this is a big debut for Killer Nikels here in traditional championship wrestling. Read more about Killer Nikels and the Bradford Exchange at traditionalwrestling.com. Dalton is not giving up, Brian.
He certainly isn't. You said he was scrappy. You said he had a lot of heart. And that is actually showing there, but that heart isn't going to be beaten much longer if he keeps taking punishment like this from Killer Nikels.
The first official member, as we said, of the Bradford Exchange. Quite an auspicious debut. That should do it. 2 and 7/8.
Oh,
Where
very
is
close.
Dalton coming up with this ability to kick out? I got to give Dalton a lot of credit because this guy, Killer Nikels, is an absolute monster. As you said at the beginning of the program, Brian, 6'4", 265 pounds of pure muscle.
And there that muscle right in the midsection of Andy Dalton. Now he's going to cinch him in. Look at this. Vertical suplex coming up. Quick snap suplex, actually. And now he's got a front face lock. Is he going for another one, Chris Cruz?
This guy is hungry for blood. He's brutal. And that should do it now for Dalton. Please, for that kid's sake, let it be it. And Dalton will not go down.
I blame that on being a second-generation wrestling superstar. You just don't know when to give up sometimes. Andy Dalton, your time is nearing.
Brian, so often with these big monsters, you see a lot of muscle, a lot of strength, but you don't see a lot of wrestling talent. But this is really, if you'll pardon the pun, a killer combination. This Killer Nikels, he can wrestle, he can be brutal, and the fans, I think, look at them, they just stunned at this guy. I don't know why this is necessary. I don't know why Killer Nikels feels the need to do what he's doing and why the referee doesn't stop him.
Yeah, he's thinking about something here. Referee, I think he's got it right there. Did he catch him? Yes,
Finally,
he did.
Yeah. Wow.
Give credit right there, catching the wrist.
But wait a minute. Nikels played the referee. He played the referee. And boy, Bradford is loving every second of this. Nikels is choking Andy Dalton, but he's covering it up very, very nicely with a reverse chin lock.
Referee got the tape.
He got one of the tapes, Brian. He got one of the tapes.
There's two?
You saw two.
I'm going to clear my eyes.
You saw two.
Dry eyes, clear eyes. I'm seeing pretty clearly right now. Great video footage. I don't see anything going on.
Andy Dalton is not seeing clearly. It almost looked like he was saying, come and see. Now can you see it?
It came unraveled just now.
It sure did, but not just now. That's a solid shot to the chin. Now the whip into the far rope, and Killer Nikels, a bear hug. You don't see that too often. It's basic. Basic.
He's going to cinch the life right out of him. Look at the way he has that grip. Just squeezing, pulling on that back is going to take the wind right out of him. Going to have nightmares coming up for Mr. Dalton.
Like a python where Dalton should, wait a minute. Again, this kid, like you said, a scrappy second-generation wrestler, and he's trying to power his way out of this. Wow.
Rung the bell right there at Killer Nikels.
And right up again.
Right back to it.
Talk about a rag doll. This guy is being thrown around, and Andy Dalton is no slouch, like we keep saying, the son of a professional wrestler, Frank Dalton, who was the original Friday from Mid-South Wrestling. So this kid has grown up in the sport, and yet he's being dominated. This should do it.
Look,
this should do
third
it.
time's the charm. Good night, Andy Dalton.
Dalton says no. Dalton says no.
Dalton, you should have given up right here. You're making a mistake. Just let it fly. Go on back and live to fight another day.
Well, this it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but this is a desperate kid here.
He should have been disqualified. Nikels would never do anything so heinous.
He leveled Killer Nikels. The well-placed boot. Man.
Nikels has rattled. That may have been the first time in this entire match that Nikels has been caught off his feet. I'm surprised by this one.
Gets a 2 count on Killer Nikels. Boyd Bradford would flip out if his man, who we've been hearing about him for months now, and all of a sudden the tide has turned. No, wait a minute. Yet again.
Yes.
Andy Dalton leveled there by Killer Nikels. And a big boot. And Dalton is making this a much more competitive match than we thought.
Bulldog. Oh, man. Bulldog coming off the second turnbuckle on the inside. And where he's getting this, I have no idea. He's, as I like to call it, pandering to these fans.
We were told how brutal Nikels is, how hungry he is for blood. Andy Dalton, we presume, had heard the same thing. And Boyd Bradford is flipping out. He is seeing all his well-laid plans just go down the tubes.
The strategy right now is not working. Nikels needs to turn around and see what's about to happen here.
It's the choke slam from hell.
That's it.
Killer Nikels, that's going to do it. 1, 2, and 3.
Good night, Andy. Man, let's celebrate with Boyd Bradford.
Ladies and germs, what you've just seen is the crown jewel of the Bradford Exchange. There's nothing anybody can do about it either, you understand? This man does what he wants, when he wants to do it, and there's not a confounded thing that anyone can do to stop him, you understand? Now, we've been talking a little bit of strategy for the last several months. Why don't you tell them about our strategy, Killer?
Well, as far as strategy goes, the only strategy ticking in this head is to rip them limb from limb and take the body parts home with us. Because everywhere we go, it belongs to us.
Yeah. You better call security because there's a murderer on the loose in TCW and his name is Killer Nikels. Yeah.